I've seen an awful lot of videos of people going, side effects of vaping, oh my god, and then they make a joke. I've seen a couple people actually do a serious video about it, so I decided to be one of the people that actually tells you what the side effects are. So I'm going to go over some side effects that I've experienced, and then I'm going to go over some pros and cons. So, you see me looking down, I have a list. So, first side effect that I experienced was a sore throat. Now, I've come to learn now that this was due to my nicotine strength being too high and my PG-VG ratio not being right. So, if you have too much PG in your vape juice, then it will make your throat sore. I have a little bit of a reaction to too much PG. I get a sore throat, my lungs get kind of sore, I get a sour tummy. That's something that you're also going to deal with when you start vaping. You're going to have to figure out if you have, I guess, a high tolerance to PG or if you're sensitive to it or whatever. So next thing that I experienced was sore lungs. So as opposed to smoking a cigarette, I was a smoker and I switched to vaping. Thank God. But, so, my lungs were sore. And, I mean, it's kind of common sense. So, you're smoking a cigarette, it's a lot less stuff going into your lungs than when you're vaping. So, you just have to get used to it, I guess. And when you first start vaping, switching from smoking, you hit that thing a lot. I mean, mine is super glued to my hand. Or it's 2 feet away from me. So that's just something you're good. It goes away. I don't experience it anymore at all. I have no side effects to vaping whatsoever now. Once you get used to it, it's amazing. Next thing is a sour tummy. So this also has to do with if you're a little bit sensitive to PG, it can cause that. That can cause a sour tummy. Or if you're vaping too much on an empty stomach, it's just like smoking a cigarette. You're going to get a sour tummy. Next thing is headaches. I didn't get any headaches because I started out at a 6 milligram and I shot straight down to a 3. And I'm at a 3 now, so I don't get headaches from it, but I know the people, when you first get started vaping, you're not quite sure about the milligrams of nicotine and all that, so I've seen people seriously grab a 24 milligram puff in it all day and go, why do I have a headache? Well, you're having a nicotine overdose. At least that's as far as I know. I'm not a doctor. But I have heard many people say too much nicotine will give you a headache. And the last thing that I've experienced is, I'm sure probably everybody has, is the public vaping thing. So if you're out in public, this happened to me the other day. I was walking through the parking lot of Walmart, right? So I get out of my car and I go to start walking to the door and I got my vape in my hand. So even when I smoked, me and my mom would always make this joke, we're smoking to the door. Her ex-boyfriend would get so mad at us for it. He'd scream at us all the time, don't smoke to the door! Well, now I do it with my vape. So, blow a nice cloud, walk into the door, and you get these people going, excuse me, can you not blow that around me? They're 30 feet away from me. It's not even going to touch them. And they have a cigarette in their hand. I don't know. But yeah, so you're going to get criticism. People that don't educate themselves, people that don't know what they're talking about, they're going to say, you're polluting the atmosphere. That's so many chemicals you're blowing into the air, blah, blah, blah. And you're sitting there like, okay, there was more chemicals in the air than just came out of my mouth, but whatever. Okay. Sorry. Pros. Lots of pros. Number 1 that I wrote down. My list is over here. You don't smell like a nasty frackin' cigarette anymore. I'm going to tell you this. I shouldn't, but I'm going to. I had a no-no, and I smoked a cigarette, and it was the most disgusting thing I've ever tasted in my life. My mouth tasted like an ashtray. It's crazy how much... Okay, so, redo. When you stop smoking and you start vaping, it's amazing how disgusting cigarettes get. And they used to be the most amazing thing in the world. But now I smell them and it makes me gag. Like I said, I smoked a cigarette. The first 2 drags, I literally, it was so gross. I had to scrape the taste off my tongue. Then I go inside. I only smoked half of it. I went inside, grabbed my vape, because I was like, I want to taste something good. Grabbed it, went like this, and I could smell the cigarette on my hand. Like that. And I had to go wash my hands. It was disgusting. So, number 1 pro, you don't smell like a nasty cigarette anymore. You smell like your delicious strawberry, custardy, caramely, whatever the hell you're vaping on. Second pro that I've seen, it is cheaper. At first, it might not be. If you're like me, you start out with a starter kit that's like $20, so it's, or not $20, but like 20 or $50, depending on what you get. If you get a stick or a mod or whatever, and then your juice and your batteries and all that. So starting out, it's not cheaper. But if you look at the long run, so I'd say me and my husband together would smoke a carton of cigarettes every 2 weeks. Now we're spending $20 for a bottle of juice every 2 weeks. So he gets a $20 bottle, I get a $20 bottle. We're saving $60 at least every 2 weeks. That's not counting going to the bar and smoking more. I forgot what I was saying. I had to go away for a minute. And then if you decide that you're going to be a vape enthusiast and buy all the nice new stuff, get all the rebuildables, get all the fancy new tanks, blah, 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 it's not going to be cheap. Next thing that is a big pro for me is I can vape in my house. I did not smoke in my house. That's disgusting. Your walls turn yellow. Your windows turn yellow. Everything turns yellow. It's gross. But I can sit on my couch and watch Netflix and be a fat kid and eat food and have my vape in my hand and I don't have to go outside. And where I live, it's really rainy, really windy, really nasty in the wintertime, so it's cool. I don't have to go outside. So it's another pro. You don't have to go outside if you wish not to. It doesn't stink up your house. Next pro, biggest pro out of everything. I know everybody's already said everything about how it's so much better for you, but I'm going to go into it too. All the articles and all the doctors that I've talked to and all of this different stuff, vaping is at least 20 times safer than smoking. I mean, so cigarettes, if you look at the ingredients in a cigarette, the chemicals and everything, the list is, a million things. If you look at e-juice, VG, PG, nicotine, flavoring. That's it. Everything in e-juice, pretty much everything in e-juice is in food. So if you can eat it, you can probably, vape it. Most articles, most things that I've read online, most YouTube videos, doctors, stuff like that, all they're saying the only thing harmful for you in e-juice is the nicotine. Well, we all knew nicotine was bad, right? That's just the things that I've experienced myself. I'm not going to tell you that's what you're going to experience because everybody's different. But yeah, so that's what I experienced with side effects, pros and cons. I'm sure there's more, I just can't think right now. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a scientist. I'm a person, I work at a freaking convenience store. I don't know a lot of shit, but that's just what I experienced. So, there you go. Have a great day. Like and subscribe.